and I'm being evicted. So I'm in stage 5 now, kidney disease. At the time, I think I was just in stage 3. So I was worried about what was going to happen to me if my kidney started failing and I couldn't work anymore. I'd be booted into the streets. So I went ahead and I had started looking to have a small house built. But when I was looking for the plans, I noticed that there was an application for Cass Community Social Services, something about some tiny houses that they were going to be given to low income people. And at the time, I didn't necessarily meet the requirements, but I figured by the time they built up the area, I would. And so I filled out the application and brought it back to Cass Community Social Services. Well, initially, what it was advertised as is you live in the house for 7 years and pay on it, and you make your on-time payments and you volunteer. You come to these meetings, and then after 7 years, you own your house free and clear.
So we raise the money for the homes up front. When they pay rent, they're actually not paying for rent to own. They're just paying rent so that we establish a financial history for them. We use that money to pay their taxes, their water, their insurance, and their security system. So if they pay that for 7 years, then we give them the house, the land, the deed, and the bills.
The interview went fine. I moved into the house. The house was filthy. The staff had been allowed to use the house however they choose. The bed had been slept in, the sheets were dirty. The toilet had been used, somebody didn't flush it. The refrigerator had been used. I mean, like, security actually made themselves home here in this house before I moved in. And what ended up happening is I came out and looked at the house with Stephanie. They put the key back in the lockbox. One of the security guards, probably Kim, locked the key inside the house, and they had to bust the lock. And if you look at that lock on the back door, it still looks fucked up. Where they broke the knob off and then fixed it. I would have fixed it better. I mean, it still locks and everything. I would have went ahead and invested in a better lock, but with this eviction stuff, I didn't know what was going to happen, so I just never replaced it.
So when did the conflict start with the tiny homes?
Almost immediately, because Reverend Fowler got an attitude when I told her. I sent her a nice little letter like, hey, this is somebody's new opportunity. I've lived in new construction before. However, for somebody coming in, because in my mind, these are homeless people. I'm like, it would be a shame for somebody coming in off the street to come in here in these conditions. Instead of her being like, you're right, whatever. She's like, take it or bring me the keys. I was like, you know what? Don't even worry about it. And at that point, I didn't even worry about it again, and I tried not to engage her. Me and her had an all right relationship after that, but it was like, it's fuckery going on around here, and when I bring it to your attention, instead of you being mad about the fuckery, you're getting mad at me. And that's kind of where it all started from. No, initially, the house was my first written complaint. Like, it's filthy. It's not even finished. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? My second issue was the security guard. They had placed her in the building next door, so she wasn't here anymore. Oddly enough, when she wasn't here anymore, all the traffic and the looky-loos went away. It was like a regular neighborhood. Literally, as soon as she came back, we got people parked in front of the house. We can't get to our houses. People are walking across the grass all day long. People are standing out in front of the house. And I'm like, what is this correlation? But I'd be sitting in here and my camera would go off. Someone's at your door and I look and it's strangers walking from this house because nobody was living here to this house. She's giving tours during the day.
Bon Jovi house. Oh my God, we get to go on this one? Oh my God.
And I definitely don't want them to keep coming back to my house. I expressed that to her. I expressed that to another security guard. And then I expressed it to Reverend Fowler. But I didn't tell Reverend Fowler that it was her giving the tours. I'm like, the tours just have to stop. I don't want all these tours because people are waiting to tour my house and it's never going to happen. So Reverend Fowler sent one of her staff over here to take the keys. And the staff member basically told Kim that I complained. Kim got upset about it, and I guess she called herself trying to check me. And I cussed her out, and it's been downhill from there. So after that, Kim started making complaints about how much time I wasn't spending at home. Kim is a security guard. And I would think that my landlord would be like, you're a fucking security guard. Worry about securing this property. Nope, she got right on board with it and started trying to use it to make me move. Then my neighbor across the street was about to get evicted, and we had a meeting. It was some fair housing violations involved, and I spoke up. I'm like, nothing y'all accusing him of has risen to the level of eviction, and the fact that you all brought another resident out to the house with y'all to serve him a notice to quit is a fair housing violation, and yeah, stop doing that. You need to be mindful of that. And I always point out the fair housing violations to her because our names aren't on these properties. So if somebody sues her, they're likely going to slap liens and try to take our tiny houses. She doesn't seem to understand it. Well, she understands it. She doesn't fucking care. So here's what's next. On November 18th at 10 a.m., I have a court hearing in front of Alicia Jones Coleman. You can check it out on Zoom. If you need the link, I'll list the link in the posting, or you can go directly to 36districtcourt.org and click on Judges and go scroll down to Alicia Jones Coleman. And you can watch the hearing on Zoom, or you can watch it on YouTube.